Hey, I'm Lou Manfredini. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of HouseSmarts. We have a lot coming up on today's show, but I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered what a green home looks like? Well, take a look. That's a green home right behind me. How about a LEED certified home? We'll talk about what that means a little bit later on. But this home has applied for platinum certification, which means that it meets strict requirements on its impact towards the environment. We're going to meet the architect who designed the home, who also happens to live in this home with his family. Let's go meet him. Kyle Moss is the principal architect with Levitt and Moss Architects in Santa Monica, California.
I've got my wife and 3 children, so they were a big push in our decision in terms of reducing toxics that they could come into contact with, making sure we reduced potential for mold and mildew and all those kind of health reasons for prime, reducing energy usage and being aware of where the materials, all those came into play.
So LEED is sort of like a checklist where you're finding out what it is you can put into a home?
It stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design.
Now let's talk about some of the materials and some of the things you designed in the home. Certainly you got these beautiful bamboo floors, but talk about some other things that you were really kind of focused in on from an eco sense.
Well, toxics or avoiding toxics were important. So thinking of like paints that didn't off-gas, insulation that didn't have formaldehyde or didn't have formaldehyde added to plywood, all those things were important. Using recycled material and using material that didn't use a lot of energy in its transportation or production. The most noticeable thing in the bathroom are the dual flush toilets.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the kids like that. So.
Right. And they work.
And they work.
Yeah, they work. They're effective, which is great. What about the lighting that you designed into the home?
The lighting, we've used mostly LEDs, and so that's newer on the market, and the color was the big issue, but they've been improving that. And we've been very happy with the ones we selected.
Yeah, and one other thing I noticed that on the outside, certainly the way you oriented, you pre-wired the home for future solar panels, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and then that's the energy savings there is huge.
Right. So our first step was to reduce the energy we use by using LEDs and things like that in the first place, and then to supplement what we do use.
So, you know, sometimes the little details can really make a difference inside of a home. And Kyle actually designed this home to take advantage of some of the natural light in the way that he oriented the windows. Now, in the staircase, there are some windows up high, and in the morning, there's some terrific sunlight that cascades down through those windows and fills this hallway below. Now, with these panels that he put there, that light also cascades into there. You never have to flip a switch or turn on a light, and it's a terrific way to wake up in the morning. And also staircases can be like a natural chimney, so any heat that's down here can actually rise up to the second floor. And by using panels or even an open rail, you can take advantage of Mother Nature and physics to take that heat right up. Pretty neat, huh? So now we're talking to the actual boss of this whole place, Lisa. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Your home is beautiful.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And I was talking to Kyle. So he's the architect, right? He's done all this LEED stuff. And he said when you guys were thinking about this home and designing it, he was kind of looking to do some other things, but you really pushed him, he said, to really go more green perhaps than he was first considering. Talk about that.
Well, it was a good opportunity for us to make a statement about things that were important to us. So when you're making those decisions, that was something that we wanted to do. And so we looked at ways that we could do that and make the house affordable, but also to be, you know, sensitive to environmental issues at the same time.
Right, I mean, it wasn't like you had an open checkbook. You really had to stick with it. I mean, you were able to find ways to be less impactful, but still maintain, I mean, here you are trying to get this LEED certification, but really what you want is a nice house along the way.
Exactly.
Right,
the LEED's important, but and also just that it's a low maintenance, a lot of them are really low maintenance products, which made a big difference for us with the family.
There's some great detail on the exterior of this home as well, but one of them has an interior purpose. On the northwest side of the home, you'll notice this little vertical bump out where the concrete panels are surrounding it. It's a really nice effect. but come on the inside and see exactly what it's there for. It's a bump out where the master bed can slide into to make the master bedroom seem even larger. Now that is good design. Now we'll have more coming up from the house a little bit later on, but before we move on, I want to point out one other thing. You know, being green can actually mean less maintenance as well. You see those red panels on the outside? That's actually a cement board, and it's designed to shed water, and even if water gets underneath those seams, it's got waterproofing behind it so it sheds away. But here's the beauty part. The color that you see on them is all the way through, which means they'll never have to paint. Pretty cool, huh? Now take a look at this green piece.